my parents sit at the dinner table, but it seems as if my sister hasn't made her way down yet.
That girl sure is busy. Don't you have any respect? It's dinner time, a wonderful family bonding session.
Leave her alone, she's busy with schoolwork. Don't you want her to do well in her studies?
I do, yeah, you're right, darling.
The pair chow down their sausages and mashed potatoes. I guess my mother cooked some traditional English food today.
God damn it, I'm hungry, and it's 4 AM.
It wouldn't be wise to eat anything now, but I think I will. Anyway, Arthur, I heard you were having a good time on the phone. Who were you speaking to?
It was probably that girl who was talking about earlier. Ain't that right, Tom?
You were eavesdropping on me? I just heard a few things, that's all.
Well, whatever you were saying, I'm glad you've managed to make it to dinner this time.
Because it's a wonderful family bonding session.
That's right, boy, I'm glad you finally learned it, unlike someone in this household.
She's doing schoolwork!
Oh yeah, I forgot.
How this guy manages to run a company, I will never know. Well, you know, he's capable of diverting work and family time. But now that you think about it, he's pretty early at home, doesn't he? Isn't he? I mean, maybe it's just me. But yeah, I'd expect from someone who actually manages a company to be there like a lot. From early hours to late hours, or well, maybe not that. Maybe he's so good that he doesn't need to work like that, and maybe he has such a good team that really does not require that. Anyway, I continue with my food as my parents start discussing topics which aren't of any interest to me. My sister eventually makes her way downstairs and sits beside me at the table. Banger smash again?
What's wrong with this traditional English food? I traveled there just for the woman, you know.
My mother laughs at my father's statement. Why can't we have curry? I gave some. We have curry as often as we have this. I finish up the last of my meal and set up in order to put my plate in the sink. With that done, I guess I have the rest of the day to do whatever I like. After I finish my homework, anyway, I head towards the stairs again to retreat back up to my room. Before I make it, my sister calls out to me. Arthur, can you help me with some questions later? I don't really want to.
Sure thing.
But I will. I mean, I'm an only child, but if I had a younger sister, I guess I would be the one that... I guess I would be helping with homeworks and so on. Anyway, rays of light and the sound of chirping of birds enter my room as I pull back my curtain. Outside the weather isn't anything short of what I asked for. Even though I believe she would be more talented with schoolwork than me, and so on. Anyway, a beautiful day, something which I can truly enjoy. It's still fairly early, according to my brand new alarm clock sitting at the side of my desk. Getting up at this time would usually give me a sore feeling, however today I have something to motivate me. The thought of Ceri's silky braids caressing her beautiful rose-tinted cheeks as she waits for me, basking in the sunlight, is wonderful. Lately she's got an alluring aura which I can't find myself resisting. I'll be meeting her at 10, but I need to have some time to get ready and spruce myself up. Oh, it's Saturday already, okay. She told me to give her the book today rather than at school. It's been a few days since I mentioned it. So, how about you give her the second book as well? I assumed she would have wanted to do it as early as possible. Perhaps she just wanted two things to look forward to. No matter the reason behind it, my fingers tighten around it as I stare down at its cover. She may be excited to receive it, but I'm just as excited to give it to her. Footsteps echo out from behind me as the door to my room opens. I turn around to find my mother standing in the doorway. You're up early? Is there something special going on today? Yeah, I'm meeting somebody down. Didn't that tell you? No, not that I can remember. If I did, then I didn't pay attention. You know how he acts. I would have thought she would have been pretty interested to hear the details. Anyway, I've just about finished breakfast. You can tell me more about it then. Oh, and wait, your sister up too. I just went in there, but she probably went straight back to sleep. It's a Saturday. Can't you just let her sleep in? Most of the school kids in Japan will heal to have Saturday mornings free. I mean, I don't think they would go that far. But yeah, I bet they would love to have 2 days off instead of 1. We're just lucky since we go to school which follows the curriculum of another country. Alright, I oblige anyway, just to get my mother out of my room. Huh. It will still take me a few minutes to get ready. Even though it's only 8 o'clock, I still want to be set to get straight out of the door to see Ceri as soon as possible. After doing up my shoelaces. Are you fucking kidding me? Wait. You are walking in the house in shoes? What is wrong with you? That's not how you live. Okay, I know. I walk barefoot. Seriously. Or, you know, in socks. Mostly in socks, actually. But still. Shoes? No. I walk out to the hall and give a knock on my sister's bedroom door. The slippers are acceptable. That's the word, I think. Anyway, get up. Fine. The sounds of bed sheets being tossed about, along with moans of agony and despair, creep through the crack beside my feet. Ceri isn't a morning person. At least she's out of bed now. Okay, she's a bit like me. I'm not a morning person at all as well. I head back down towards the end of the corridors and approach the descent to the ground floor. The time to have a breakfast, something I rarely do on Saturday. Toast, that's what I smell when sitting down at the dining table, ready to tuck in. It's not the most elegant of dishes, the concept of cooked bread is quite plain. Oh, what is wrong with you? First you wear shoes in a house, which is ridiculous, and you say that toasts are plain. Toasts are amazing. You cannot compare it to a fulfilling traditional English breakfast, but a slice of toast is certainly fine every now and then. You mean every day? Anyway, my sister soon joins me, scraping the chair across the hardwood floor next to me. She apathetically examines the toast before her, putting it in her mouth soon after, a move which bars her from joining the typical morning commotion. So Arthur, who are you meeting then? It's that Gary we're on about, isn't it? You should really bring her home one of these days. Hell, I don't even know her name. Her name is Kerwin. So I see. My father goes back to eating his toast. However, my mother continues to converse with me. I'm glad you're making more friends, Arthur. As if she couldn't make me sound like any more of a loner. Oh yeah, son. Did you remember to pack that book I gave you? Of course I did. That's my boy. I quick glance at the clock on the wall. That tells me it's approaching 9:45. I ought to set off. I only have to leave this early, since it's only a short walk away from my house. However, getting to see Ceri for just a little bit longer would probably do me some good. I bet she'll be there early too. I wave goodbye to my parents, both of whom continue to eat their breakfast and discuss trivial topics which don't necessarily concern me. A cold breeze meets my face as I open the door and step out into the world. Soon enough, in my sight I catch Ceri's blonde braids swaying softly in the wind as she twiddles with her thumbs and waits for me. She hasn't noticed me approaching yet, but she soon will. I don't think I'll be able to cover her eyes and surprise her. As I approach her, something weird is made apparent. She is still wearing her school uniform, even though it's Saturday. I have to admit, it does look good on her, but I was hoping to see her wearing something casual. Maybe I should ask her about it. She turns her head towards my direction, and finally takes notice of me, looking visibly startled even though I'm still nowhere near her yet. My hand glides through the wind as I wave to her, slowly but surely making my way beside her. Hey, Gary.
Hello?
I don't know why. Every time I see the name, I wait for it to be said, but it's not being said. And that's sad. Anyway, how long have you been waiting for me? I knew she would arrive before me, but I wouldn't want her to have waited for too long.
Oh, not long.
That's good. She could just be saying that to make me less concerned, but I'll trust her on it.
Shall we get going then?
Ceri takes the initiative and I give her a truthful response. Yes, I'd love to. Ceri blushes at my answer. I really do want to go on this trip with her. Wait, Ceri? I'm not really sure whether it's a good idea, time to give it to her, but it's agonizing to keep waiting. I really want her to have it. I have something to give you. Pulling the book out of my coat, I presented it to Ceri in a similar fashion as when she to me. Maybe not in such a passionate way as she did, but the passion is certainly there within my fingertips. Ceri stands still, taken aback. She curiously peers towards the book, reaching out and tracing it with the tip of her index finger. She softly brushes mine in the process, going red after the surface of her fingers meet one another.
Sorry.
You don't have to apologize. She looks up towards me, and our eyes meet. Her amber irides shimmer in the morning light, which are too soon diverted back towards the book within my hands.
Can I really have this?
Of course, it's a present. You can keep it. Ceri tightens her fingers around the book, once again brushing her smooth skin against mine. This time, she doesn't apologize. However, she can't help but blush once more as her cheeks bloom like a rose in spring.
How did you know I liked this author?
Well, they wrote the book you gave me before. It was quite worn, so I assumed you've read it multiple times. Anyway, let's get going. We wouldn't want to miss the train. Also, she did tell you it's one of your favorites. Her favorites. Ceri and I walk towards the train station, side by side. In a way. I guess that a way should not be one word, but okay. She's acting as my guide, as I still don't know my way around. I can't help but take a few glances at her whenever possible. She herself does the same, peering towards me from time to time. The trip into the city was long, but it sure was enjoyable. Ceri and I didn't converse much, but it wasn't as if either of us was uninterested in the other. An enjoyable silence. Ceri takes me through the city, trying to stay as close to me as she can, despite her taking the lead. It's confusing, sure, but I wouldn't be one to argue against it.
We're almost there.
She continues to weave through the urban sprawl as we make our way towards the library she had planned on visiting. The way she walks is quite cute in its own way, as she takes small dainty strides, making like footsteps which tap quietly against the pavement. Finally, she stops and turns towards me, almost making me bump into her.
Sorry.
She looks visibly upset about the ordeal, so I calm her down, as always. It's alright, Ceri.
Okay. Anyway, we're here now.
Also, aren't the, phone... What's the name? Phone booths a bit too English for Japan? Anyway, I look to my left to see another building with a signage designating it as the town's public library. The exterior is fairly clean, so perhaps it is newly built.
I preferred the old one. stonework was pretty. Though, this one is good too.
Ceri gives me her thoughts on the building, confirming my suspicions on the date of construction. It's no surprise. Urban areas are always changing. Shall we go inside?
Sure. You should have brought your uniform. They give discounts to students.
Isn't ID enough? Student ID? So that's why she's wearing it. Certainly, it would be simpler for her to say she's a student anyway. For apparently we are a regular high schooler, only Japanese curriculum works too, even though she looks far from it. I wasn't planning on buying the books anyway, even if I wanted one, I'd take it out on a lease anyway. As a pair, we make our way inside the building. We are greeted to the warmth of the heating, alongside the traditional smell of books you'd expect in the library. Again, isn't the student ID enough?
I just want to look around. I probably won't get anything.
Please observe silence at all times. Okay.
I have the one you gave me after all.
Ceri's cheeks glow a bright shade of crimson as she states the fact to me. Maybe the actual fact of the matter is that she wasn't just planning on going to the library and she just wanted to invite me out. Well, it's a possibility. I want to do more of her, but just come here is enough. Seeing her cute demeanor on the weekend is a threat in and of itself. The two of us stroll through the library together, with Ceri taking me between the bookshelves as she scans for anything that might pique her interest. I can't help but watch her eyes dart from shelf to shelf as she looks keenly at the covers of each book. She finally reaches out towards something and gracefully clasps the book within her grip. Found something?
It's a book about gardening. I like flowers, so I thought it would become another hobby.
How many hobbies does this girl have?
We could get going now if you'd like. I can't find any books that would top the one you gave me.
Ceri shots me a smile, one which pierces my heart. She guides me towards a digital checkout unit. She swipes the book and places it within a hub bag. It's strange to think that even libraries have self-service nowadays. The world sure is changing.
Shall we go then?
Yeah, let's. Side by side, Ceri and I walk out of the library. Both the books in her bag cause it to sway as she takes step after step. We come to find ourselves outside of the library, since neither one of us had really planned on doing anything afterwards.
My horoscope said today would be a good day.
Your horoscope. For some reason, Ceri brings up her horoscope. Not that I mind, but it's a pretty abstract topic to bring up out of the blue. Well, was it?
It was.
Ask her about the date of her birthday and so on. Ceri eagerly exclaims the fact, causing herself to blush. Alongside her, I also go red. I would never have thought that I could have brought so much satisfaction to someone. When is your birthday anyway, Ceri? Thank you for asking that. I ask her simply because I want to know more about her. If I don't know her birthday, how am I supposed to get her a present?
My birthday? September 3rd. I'm a Virgo.
Okay. So I'm not. I'm a Leo. So her birthday wasn't even that long ago. July 30. I was close to September. Like 2 days and it would be 1st of September. Sorry, August. Okay. Happy belated birthday?
Thank you. When's yours?
She wants to know my birthday as well. I might as well tell her. Boom. My birthday is on the 30th of July.
Oh, I'll add it to the calendar on my phone.
Speaking of phones, I need the contact picture for Ceri. Well, I just want the photo of her, but still. Ceri. Okay, am I the only one that finds that question kind of creepy? Ceri, can I take a photo of you for your contact picture?
What?
Ceri looks shocked at my stare and moves herself back slightly, but it doesn't stop me from bringing my phone up and taking the shot. Her expression in the photo isn't a happy one, but she still looks pretty cute. I'll keep it.
I don't like having my photo taken.
Come on, you look good in it. Turning my phone screen to face Ceri, I show her the photo. She still does not particularly happy about it, but I don't think she's angry.
Alright. I'll let you keep it.
This now. Make a picture now.
But only because it's you.
Her statement takes me aback. Ceri herself seems really composed about it, albeit blushing slightly. Anyway, is there anything else you'd like to do?
Anything else? I'm not sure. Have you got any ideas?
Cafe? Well, ask her since I couldn't really come up with anything myself. For with a bit of thought, it shouldn't be that hard to find something to do. Have a look around. Go home. Seriously? Why? Why is go home even an option? How about we have a look around town for a bit? I wouldn't want to go home early. Ceri nods her head in agreement, making her reddened cheeks more noticeable.
Me neither.
We walk together, heading away from the library without a sense of direction. We will end up somewhere, right? Both of us just want to spend more time with the other. Ceri's braids rest over her shoulders, brushing against her body as each luxuriant strand gleams in the sunlight. It is a nice sight, but I do wonder what she would like with her hair down. She would look like with her hair down. Time flows forward as Ceri and I wander around the town together at a tempered pace. We look within the windows of stores and occasionally make comments on what we see. Ceri slows to a halt as we stroll by another store. This is the first store that has gotten her this mesmerized, so I turn to face the store as well. A music store. Ceri stares the building, as if enchanted by its aura. By the look of it, it's been here quite a while. It was a traditional sign and printed glass which has worn over the years. Beyond the glass, though, is the thing I can only assume Ceri is fascinated by. She takes steps towards the window, closing herself in on it. Her palms meet the glass as she touches the window, almost in awe. Behind it sits a large gold-trimmed harp. The polish on the wood mirrors Ceri's enthralled face as it stands before us grandiously, staring back at her. You can play the harp, can't you? Ceri moves her face away from the glass, turning to face me while still maintaining her upbeat expression, one of pure happiness.
I'm glad you remember.
Why wouldn't I?
But I wasn't looking at the harp.
Eh? You weren't?
No, that gramophone on the level below it. I've never seen one before.
To think she was this enthralled by a piece of outdated technology when there's the best looking harp I've ever seen sitting right before her. I mean, gramophones are pretty cool. I would like to have one. I'm not going to blame her for it though.
The harp I own. It's much grander than that one.
How rich is this girl? Sure, you need one to get into our school, but a harp like that's bound to cost thousands. Karen turned around, with her seemingly satisfied with the amount of gramophone exposure she has received. A brief glance at my watch tells me it's getting pretty late. Despite wanting to stay with Ceri for longer, I wouldn't want to worry my parents either. If my dad calls me, he might ask to speak to her if he can tell she's there. Ceri, it's getting pretty late. Shall we head home?
Okay.
With that, the two of us walked together towards the same station we arrived at. Ceri seems as happy as I am about this trip, with her lips still curled softly to a smile as the setting sun shines upon her. The sky is noticeably darker than before as we walked through the street where we first met. Today certainly was enjoyable, both of us finding satisfaction just by being with each other. Ceri looks at me with a blush. My guess is that she's probably going to ask me something.
Would you like to come to my house for dinner?
She's inviting me to her house? That's a pretty bold thing to ask. Technically, we did just go on a date, but in reality it was more of a trip to the library as friends. Basically, I don't know what to say. Ceri probably doesn't realize its forwardness herself, that or I am overcomplicating it. Is having dinner at her house really such an abstract concept to me? Maybe going with her on the trip has given me a few thoughts I didn't have before. Either way, I can't just go over there without asking my parents first. Pulling out my phone, I gave Ceri my answer. Sure, let me just tell my parents where I'll be. Yes! Ceri gives me a note as I wait for someone to pick up on the other end of the line. My house isn't even that far from here, so I could have just walked in and told them. This voice is easier, despite it costing money. Hello? Unexpectedly, my sister answers in the place of either my mother or father. Sis, where's mom and dad? They've gone out to dinner. They never told me anything about that. Well, will you be fine on your own? I'll be out for a bit too. Yeah, I'll get to play my music extra loud. Just don't disturb the neighbors, okay? Don't worry, I won't. I'll tell mom and dad that you've gone somewhere with a girl, okay? She ends her sentence with a laugh, even for irony I'm going somewhere with a girl. Alright, whatever. I'll see you later. Sure. She hangs up. Before I can, leaving me holding my phone next to my ear, listening to the silence. The warmth of my pocket greets my hand as I put it away, turning to face Ceri, who is still observing me intently. Shall we go then?
Sure. I'll lead the way.
The cool late evening air burns my bemused face. Ceri and I idle outside her house, a rather plain and general building. The thought of her living in an Albert mansion dissipated from my mind. The building is nothing short of a nice house. I just expected that it would be fancier.
Should we go inside?
Ceri calls out to me from my side, giving the signal that she's ready to go in. She's composed, a contrast with her prior shyness, for the bloom of red on her cheeks is still all too apparent. It's a thing that will always suit her. Certainly. Our shoes meet the ground in unison, her taking a step forward into a place she's accustomed to, me however walking to a new experience, something cherishable. I've been to people's houses plenty of times, just not any girls. That's what he said, standing before the door, a thought fluttered into my head, whilst Ceri's fingers wrap around its silver handle. Come here, I'm about to meet her family, aren't I? Did she even tell them that she planned on inviting me over? If so, I would have done a lot more to make myself look more impressionable. Caressing the handle lightly, Ceri twists her key delicately and pulls it down. The warmth from the inside soon meets us. As bit by bit the door opens, Ceri taking the first step through, escorting me in.
Well, we're here.
Ceri's smile is one of many threats I've been given today. She plays with her hair, eyes directed towards me, anticipating a response. Now that we're under a brighter light, I can see her face much more clearly. I still can't get enough of it, despite being lost for words. One thing does make it out of my mouth. You look pretty cute. I mean, it would be better to say you look cute, but okay. Ceri is instantly taken back, looking as if she's trying as hard as she can to muster up a response.
Thank... Thank you, I made her myself.
A suited man appears out of the blue, startling me slightly. It's natural, of course. Him appearing, that is. Getting caught off guard like that isn't a virtue. This must be Ceri's father. The man himself a foreigner like Ceri. Ceri's a thick accent that differs from hers. They're Welsh, but Ceri seems to be a lot more understandable. At least when she does speak. The majority of time her sentences are broken to pieces as she tumbles around her words. A hindrance, but a fairly cute one at that. Her father's voice hovers greater and gravely. It's not as stereotypical as the accent is portrayed as by far, but he keeps speak Japanese would probably mortify me. Luckily enough, we're all used to speaking English.
You must be that friend Ceri had told me about. She was really keen on having you over.
Ceri blushes at her father's statement. It's not like Ceri to bring me here on a whim, so I wasn't wrong in guessing that she had planned this evening in advance. Yes, it's nice to meet you, Mr. Erwood.
My pleasure. I'm glad you are getting along so well with my daughter.
It's understandable that after what Ceri had told me, she had never met any friends during her stay at our school. Being a parent and seeing that would leave anyone concerned, for the opposite is true as well. Knowing your daughter's first true friend, there's a guy has probably left him having a couple of questions. Even though he seems fairly friendly, I wouldn't blame him if he had any suspicions. One thing that is quite odd is the absence of Ceri's mother. Not that she couldn't be in work, it's just odd that Ceri hadn't brought her up. She never talked much about her father either. It's a nice thing to meet her family. In a way, I'm learning more about Ceri herself than anything. Her experience and those close to her, I guess her family is all she has when outside of school, at least until I came along. I still feel inclined about asking where her mother is. It's weird, but my mind can't help ruminate over her. Ceri herself must have had an attractive mother to turn out the way she is. For I wouldn't tell her that. I'm not an expert in genetics either. And she might take it the wrong way. Well, I can't help it. She's a really interesting person. A nice one too. Ceri relented at my statement. At this point, anything I could say about her would make her blush. Not only because of her timidness, there's nothing negative to say there.
I'm glad you think so. I'll go ahead and set the table, make yourself feel at home. For don't make it your home, I'd expect you to pay rent otherwise.
His joke is lost on me, but I still draw a smile on my face as to act polite and feign a response. Ceri herself seemed pretty amused by the joke, covering her mouth to seal her faint but girlish giggles.
Well, I'd say it was a good one.
Could be worse. I guess dad jokes are only effective when they're actually coming from your father. Mine acts like one big joke himself half the time. Mr. Erwood leaves the pair of us standing by the doorway, giving me the chance moment to converse with Ceri in private. I wanted to ask about her mother, for whether I should is a questionable act in itself. Ask about Ceri's mother, don't ask anything. Honestly, I'm a bit curious, but I don't think it's a good thing to ask. So I'm not going to do that. Don't ask anything. 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 I believe it should be, right? Hesitation catches me, reeling me in like a fish. Ceri stands bemused, looking towards me as always. Her soft cheeks have lost their rosy color from moments ago. However, she still timely fuses with her hair as the light above shines down upon her.
Shall we sit? My father's a great cook.
I'm not that interested in her father's cooking. I didn't come here for that. I came here to spend more time with her, so her offer is still more than tempting. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Ceri. You know, he was saying that that house is not something fancy and such, but
Oh, sorry. 4:30 a.m. So, uh, but I like that house. I mean, the way it looks. I could live there. I mean, I need to buy a house like that. The dining room is spacious, the walls plastered with Western decor and sport memorabilia. The table mahogany makes itself distinct, a slight reflex of its polished finish. It looks expensive, topped with various plates and cutlery, more than ready to present whatever is on the menu today. Ceri's father had never told us what it was that we were having.
We like to keep touch with our heritage. Outside, we try our best to adapt, though.
Ceri must have caught me gazing around the room. Several photos of sports teams line the walls, possibly rugby by the looks of it. I'm sure it's a national sport. She must have had a hard time adapting to a new country, for I'm not sure how long she'd been here. I'll refrain from asking. Now is the time to savor the moment with her. I can understand. Connecting with your heritage is an important thing. The only reason I go to our school is to do just that. My mother made me. Come think of it, I've never told Ceri about me being half English.
Your heritage. You're only half Japanese, aren't you?
I don't like the typical Japanese male by any sense, so it was only reasonable that she would conclude that. I'm half English, though I've never actually been there. Born and raised in Japan.
Interesting. Your English is pretty good.
Well, my father made me learn it every day. Even if he's Japanese, I'm sure he thinks he's English though. He only reads and publishes books in English. A genius. I mean, it kinda pisses me off when I want to buy a book in English and it's only available in Poland in Polish. I mean, you have to dig deeper. He even married an English woman. I'm sure he would have moved there if his company needed someone to act as a foreign representative. Thanks. Ceri giggles at my awkward response. With the two of us sitting down the table together. That's actually a cute giggle. An act I'd never have expected to be doing with her not even a week ago. The inks have gone by so fast and it's unreal. You know... Oh.
I enjoy spending time with you. I didn't have anyone to speak to like this before. This week has been fun. Thank you.
Ceri unexpectedly gives me her gratitude, stiffling me slightly as her words cause my face to go red. At least I'll assume it is. I can tell inside I'm blushing for a blush caused by Ceri, when it's usually me who makes her blush. Still, her boldness isn't lost on me. In a social sense at least, Ceri's trying her hardest tonight to make me feel welcomed. She's probably savoring the moment herself. I'll take the initiative and thank her. My pleasure. I've enjoyed it. Ceri herself blushes, for I feel as if it's more of an appreciative one rather than one of embarrassment or shyness, one with more importance to it. Mr. Earwood, Ceri's father, walks back into the room carrying a plate in each hand, both of them topped with the same meal. Beef, diced potatoes, and a selection of vegetables, all topped with gravy, even though neither of us asked for any. After a long, but undoubtedly enjoyable day out with Ceri, I have found myself craving a nice meal. Maybe just smell, but it's certainly something I can appreciate. This entire day has led me to find myself closer to Ceri. Ever closer to me, she wouldn't have thanked me for being her friend otherwise. Nobody else has done that, for I've never had many friends myself either. Moving schools would usually worsen my situation, for I found myself beating Ceri from doing so there are no complaints. The three of us begin our meals, quieting down to focus on our own plates. The taste matches the smell. The rich beef complements the soft potatoes as the two amalgamate on my taste buds.
So, I bet you're wondering how a Welsh family come to Japan then?
I wasn't, but avoiding this dining table talk wouldn't make me look good to Ceri's father. I hear that getting a work permit's pretty hard, so getting permanent resident must have been quite a feat.
Oh, trust me, it was. Originally, I was supposed to only be here for a few years as an engineer. So I just found myself linking the place, so I decided to stay.
I mean, linking? Liking. He seems like he has a well-paying job. If he can afford to migrate here and send Ceri to our school, he seems like a pretty nice guy, to be quite honest. Hopefully he thinks the same of me, to an extent anyway. Being the guy his daughter had just dragged home, I wouldn't want him to dislike me. More so since his daughter is Ceri, making a bad impression isn't an option. Just as I'm about to finish my meal, the sound of ringing chimes through the walls from another room. A phone call.
Excuse me, let me just take this.
Mr. Edward rises from his seat, leaving me and Ceri alone to ourselves once again. It would be a rude thing to say that I'm glad he's gone, but it's only because I get to spend extra time with her. Alone, that is. Ceri remains silent next to me, much to my displeasure. I thought it would be easy to come up with a topic to talk about, but right now Ceri seems disinterested in my presence. A sad look coats her face. Despite its beauty, if I could call it that, the fact that her expression has shifted from once happy and content to one of desolation is making me concerned. The cause of Ceri's dejection is soon apparent. Through the walls flows the sound of Ceri's father, a sound of anger. I try to make out some of the words.
Why is it my fault? You're the one that decided to ruin everything. We have a daughter now. Have you ever taken her faults into consideration?
My own mood plummets, taking in one word after another. This is the reason that Ceri's mother isn't here. The relationship between her parents has been crumbling before her, by the sounds of it. I really don't want to get myself caught up in this.
I'm irresponsible, says the one who decided to get themselves shit-faced and pumped by their ex.
The evening should not have gone in this direction. Ceri's father is probably kicking himself now that the dinner had been disrupted. It's not very impressionable to argue with your wife in front of guests. I won't blame you for getting carried away. Feeling a tug on my arm, I see Ceri's slender fingers grasping my sleeve as she gently pulls on it, still carrying that same sad expression, the one that hurts me. I don't want to see her like this. However, what is going on between our parents concerns me. I don't want Ceri to experience the sadness behind that face of hers. Witnessing for a bit really hurt. It's not my reason, but my heart is on fire. Okay, come on. Are you really going to stay and listen to that? I don't think so. I mean, she literally tells you to get out of there. So let's go with her. I'm going. Why wouldn't I go? Ceri continues to pull on my sleeve, conveying her signal to me, one of sadness and sorrow. She must want to speak to me about something. I rest my head upon hers, and I give her a nod, after which she stands with me and the pair of us leave the dining room for lunch. Coming to a standstill, Ceri turns towards me as we both remain still in the center of the room. Nothing but a small lamp illuminates the space around us, giving Ceri's sad, melancholic face an orange tint as she looks towards me.
Please, forget about what you heard tonight. I didn't want to get you involved in all this.
Ceri still looks towards me with those woeful feelings deep within her eyes. Seeing her like this is really upsetting. What we've gone through over the past several days mean a lot to me. I'll do anything I can do to make her happy, even if I can't resolve the issue. Ceri, I don't want to see you like this. Please, if there's anything I can do for you.
Please, just stop!
Ceri's voice is sharp, as if it is tainted with anger.
It's complicated. I didn't mean to get angry. It's just her.
Ceri resents her mother. This woman must have caused her so much stress. This process is painful for everyone, but seeing someone go through this, it's something I can't stand. I want to be there for her. Ceri, you are an important friend to me.
Really?
Yes, really.
Okay. I'll tell you.
What?
You're an important friend to me too.
Yes.
Follow me.
What? Ceri leads me out of the lounge, without giving me a clue as to where it is she's taking me. Clearly she wants me to know more, she wants me to be there for her. Knowing that my words reach her, it makes me more than happy. Ceri, a person I have grown to enjoy the company of, is leading me higher towards the upper floor of her house. Our relationship has blossomed unexpectedly, following a friendship both of us cherish with nothing but pure passion. I can only assume she's leading me to her bedroom. An action which would typically suitable for the situation is for me to get flustered over complicating things by assuming the most raunchy and far-off situation she wants to talk for. That I can tell from that what we were subject to downstairs. It's obvious that she wants to address it. Ceri leads from in front, forcing me to divert my head in an act of politeness as to not look up her skirt. She can't see me anyway, so she wouldn't know if I did. Now is not the time for that for.
This way.
Her voice is firm, as if she has found something inside of her that is pushing her forward, giving her the courage to speak. Insightful, she must be nervous. The entire situation between her mother and father would be something she could easily talk about. I traced Ceri's footsteps with my own as we walked down the hall towards her room. Her body is rigid, filled with a composure of sorts. I can imagine how long she must have waited for this moment, to be able to tell someone outside of her family circle what her life has been like. An unsettled relationship between her parents, her absence from school, and experiencing pure loneliness. All of that must have accumulated to an emotion of anger and misery. One of sadness. In a way, I'm glad I found her, for I cannot be the one to solve her problems. I just want to help her. We walk into the room, pointed in beige. Ceri goes forward and starts to undo her braids, slowly letting her silky hair fall down, straight. A way I've never seen it, something different. I prefer her with braids, but maybe that's just because it's how I'm used to seeing her. She still looks beautiful either way. Ceri rests her glass on the nightstand, then taking a seat on her bed. The pink love-heart embellished beddings give off a girlish vibe. I still feel as if they suit her. She herself holds a downcast expression, the smooth skin of her hands clutching her knees tightly. It would be a cute pose if she wasn't plagued by the sorrows of her past, no matter how recent they may be. All was saying that a thin gap between her feet is visible, leaving her underwear within view. I tried to avoid it earlier, but as Ceri started talking, it would be rude of me to look away from her.
Thank you.
For what? It seems out of place for me to ask. Ceri must have a lot on her mind she must want to say, for I'm confused by her gratitude. She thanks me a lot. Too often maybe, but this time there is surely more of an important meaning behind it.
For offering to help. It really made me happy.
Finally, a clock that has indicators. Isn't that what a friend should do?
Friends. That's right. You're important to me.
Ceri goes on, letting her emotions flow out of from within.
When we first met, I was nervous. It wasn't even that long ago. Do you know why? Why I held myself back?
No, but surely you can see that you've improved. You can talk to me fairly easily now.
It's still there. On the inside. The lack of self-confidence. Even with strangers. People who don't even know me. Always get that impression.
Ceri still acts as she hasn't improved. I wouldn't know what she's feeling on the inside, so I can't be one to judge. Maybe it's just me she's gotten better with, which would be a reasonable assumption. I'm the only person that she converses with that isn't within her family. A group of people which is probably limited to just her father. It must have been painful.
It never used to be like this. Though I was always a quiet person. In the past, I never really had a good social life. There was this one girl who never really liked me. Thinking about it now still makes me feel sick and angry. It was 2 years ago.
I want to ask her why didn't speak up for herself, for actually asking it would be rather spiteful. A lonely girl trying to study for her exams, it would have been quite a stressful time. Knowing the education system, they wouldn't have done much for her, or didn't. I don't know if she had spoke to any teachers.
The year after, I was pulled out of school by my father. He knew something was wrong, so I spent the year at home. I told you I was ill, didn't I?
So that was a lie, kind of?
It was. Sorry.
Accepting her apology would be wrong. She had a pretty good reason to do so.
After it all, I felt nervous. I couldn't socialize. I feared a reaction. If I went through that again, I wouldn't know what to do. Then I came back and met you.
So it wasn't easy for Ceri to open up to me. It almost seems as if I forced her to, with how quick it has all gone. From a different perspective, I wouldn't be standing here now if she didn't want to get along. Nobody would outright refuse any interaction. It was just hard for her, for an understandable reason. It makes me feel happy that she had found what she had been looking for.
That girl had gone, so I went back. But I was still scarred with loneliness. Everyone knew me from before, and stayed away. But you were there, and you gave me an opportunity. That's why I want to thank you, for becoming my friend. You mean a lot to me.
Ceri stands from her bed, finishing by giving me her warm-hearted regards. It's a thing which she has always done during the time we've known each other. She's usually quite polite. This, however, is something much more than that, something special, both her and to me. Thank you. I'm glad I could be there for you. You're an important friend to me too. I told you before, didn't I? Ceri nods and smiles, wiping the melancholic expression clean from her face. It's a wonderful sight to know that our friendship means this much together. It really makes me happy.
Thanks.
The pair of us stand together in the center of Ceri's bedroom, basking in the presence of the other. Around us is silence, barring the light sounds of traffic from outside. It's a lovely atmosphere, something which makes me feel warm inside. I don't know what her father is doing, but he must have realized we have gone. Luckily enough, we are not in my house, or my father would be here the moment we left his side.
So, I guess you got to see my bedroom.
I guess I did.
I want to see yours. Though it's probably a bit messy.
A bit. Out of nowhere, Ceri throws me a jab as she stands before me with a complacent grin. She's right, though. My room is a tip. If I ever did have the courage to bring Ceri anywhere near my family, particularly my father, then cleaning the room would be somewhere on the list of priorities. Well, what can I say? You should take pride in your tidiness. Ceri giggled at my statement, an act of familiarity which I'm glad we could achieve. Months ago, Ceri was recalling thoughts from a time filled with a wealth of dictionary words. Sadness, depression, loneliness, those sorts of words come to mind. Hopefully we can change the experiences of the past, so in the future she doesn't have to look back on painful memories. If you didn't have that bookshelf, I'd dread to see what your room would look like.
I take pride in my books, thank you. Though, you're right. I like to look after them, but reading them comes first.
There's quite a lot of books there, for surely she hasn't read them all. Actually, I take that back. She probably has. That vacant smile as she stares towards the bookcase proves it. In all fairness, she's not the only one with a lot of books in her room. I couldn't even count the number in mine. All we do is gather dust as my room continues to be treated like a storeroom by my father, cluttering the house with all his publications. Was there ever a time where he actually wrote a book? Putting that thought to the side of my mind, I glance at the alarm clock beside Ceri's bed. It feels as if it is getting late. It's only 2 o'clock.
Oh, ignore the alarm. It's broken.
It seems as we've both had issues with faulty clocks lately. Nonetheless, if it wasn't for that, I doubt I would have met her in the first place. Well, the difference is that your clock was destroyed by you. In this, maybe it's just the battery. Realized that I'm in fact wearing a watch, I raised up to check the actual time before saying it myself. Ceri is quick to the point.
It's getting late, isn't it?
Yeah, I should probably get back soon. I can imagine what my sister might get up to. Ceri smiles, for that wonderful sight quickly turns back into a frown.
I'm sorry about earlier.
It's okay, Ceri, you don't have to apologize. In reality, it is her father's duty to apologize, even though I wouldn't blame him for this action, for his actions. It seems as if Ceri's mother, who is the loose cannon, Ceri herself definitely isn't thought of her. Shall we head downstairs then?
Yes, let's.
Ceri and I make our way out of her room and down the stairs, leaving behind what was both, especially yet somehow depressing moment for both of us. Ceri had to recall the times she wanted to forget, but at the same time it made us closer. I now realized that she didn't even speak much about her family issues, that I can't blame her for, but it was the reason the two of us left the dining table. All I'll have to do now is wait until she's ready to speak about such things. Being able to help her is something I want to do. We walk down the hall towards the doorway, Ceri getting ready to see me off. I don't know where her father is, but I'll just have to speak to him another time. Thank you for tonight, Ceri.
I should be thanking you. I'm glad you came. Despite...
Don't worry about that, Ceri, it's alright. Ceri smiles warmly, holding the handle of the door in her hand. I'm sure neither of us is ready to go yet, but I have to get back home nonetheless.
I'll see you on Monday.
She blushes, leaving me to give her a smiling response. I don't think I'll ever get tired of seeing those rosy cheeks. Alright, Ceri. I'll see you then.
Bye.
Shutting the door behind me, Ceri and I are now separated. Myself feeling happy despite the cold of the evening. Her, well, I'm not really sure how she's feeling. In all honesty, I hope she's feeling better. Talking with her really made me feel close to her, maybe even something more. I take my steps out the garden, a pretty one at that. Each flower still vibrant in the evening sunlight. That's a nice house. It's quite a beautiful sight. It is Ceri's after all.